I'm perfectly capable of admitting when a device just isn't for me. And I think now, a third of the way through the life cycle, or at least the current life cycle of the Pixel 6, that's where we're at. I'm not saying anything major was broken with the March update. It did make a heck of a lot of things better for me. We'll talk about that in a moment. Hey, what's up to all my Alicious fans? Steve Alicious here, and I ran a poll. About 70 responded and said 70% of those who responded said that the Wi-Fi was not fixed with the March update. I was checking Reddit. It didn't seem to be an issue. Some people did still have ongoing issues with connectivity, which I expected. I didn't think there was going to be a blanket solution to something like that. It was going to be done in stages. You just wished that if they're going to do it in stages, and you could tell that fires are going to keep cropping up with the Pixel 6, that they release stuff more often. They don't stick to that once a month. If you have a fix, if there's an optimization, if there's something you need to do it several times a month until you kind of, it seems like a whack-a-mole. Every time they get one problem that they think they nailed, another one pops up, or somebody has another issue. It says, there were a few people on there on the Reddit that said their Wi-Fi would work for about 15 minutes and wouldn't disconnect. It would just stop. They wouldn't have internet anymore. So it would technically be connected. It was working, but they wouldn't be able to get on the internet with it, which is a different problem. So there's going to be a point when it crosses over where it's just going to be the regular bugs and issues and all these defects that happen on any major release. But it seems like every time they get to a point, it's something else that just has an issue. And they're going to keep putting out these fires until they really commit to, as they figure something out, release it and go on from there. I haven't noticed better battery performance. It hasn't gotten worse either. Some people were saying they're getting an hour and a half more of screen on time. Take that with a grain of salt for me, though. I get poor screen on time from all these devices. No matter what it happens to be. I guess that's because I'm on we talked about it before, on the fringe of a 5G area. So it keeps switching between 4G and 5G. So maybe that's the reason for poor battery life. Maybe it just can't handle my twittering. Fire. So that might be an issue. I don't know what it would be. But I don't get the battery life that everybody else gets. It's good. It's still upwards of 6 hours for me on the Pixel 6, the regular version. But it's not quite what everybody else was getting. The battery widget is cool, though. I'll give them that. I know you can resize it, and this is kind of an aside. I don't like 4x4 widgets. At that point, it's the app. At that point, just open the app if you're going to have a widget like that. But I do think it's useful, and you can resize it. I do like the fact that you could see your wearables, earbuds, whatever happens to be, and see the power on that at a glance, which is definitely helpful for sure. Wi-Fi, like I said, some people had a fix, some people not. I think that's going to be a patchwork type thing. Fingerprint sensor, some people say it got better. To me, it got a little worse. It wasn't as fantastic. The animations are still wonky. And I'm going to just say it like this. It's not for me. It's not something that, especially when I've just had experiences with the iPhone SE, with the Samsung S22 Ultra, and with another device that we'll talk about in a moment. But it's coming off of those devices. I understand a different price range for the S22 Ultra. No one's trying to compare it to that. No one says it should deliver the same performance as that. But this should have been a walk-off grand slam for them. With the hardware, with the build quality, with their software expertise, so we thought going in, this should have been a lot better experience than it is. And the reason why this is so frustrating, especially for me, let alone the fact that I wanted it to be successful. I wanted to like this. I personally liked the design, thought it was cool. I was expecting to use this all through the end of last year and into this year because I wanted it to have that Pixel experience. And the frustrating portion of that is that there is a Pixel experience that this should be. There was something that I was getting and was experiencing, and if I could find it on my desk here, in the Pixel 4 XL. This, on the stable version of Android, is what you'd expect Android 12 to be right now. Face Unlock is snappy. The experience seems coherent. It's not choppy. The Pixel 6 just feels like an unfinished product. In the software, you get an inconsistent experience. Sometimes it works, sometimes you flow through the animations and you unlock the screen and you're able to get through and the apps work fine, and sometimes it's a choppy mess. This isn't. So I know what they can do. And that's the frustrating part. And if it's Tensor, if it's whatever else, I don't care. You know, we're not signing up to be beta testers. We're not signing up for prototypes. You had to have this ready to go out of the box in order to release it and ask people money for it. Because I know you can do better. Because I literally have used better this week on your platform with the Pixel 4 XL. Still the best experience, I think, in Pixel Land that you can get, as opposed to the 6. And the frustrating part about it, on top of that, is that I put on the quarterly beta, or whatever they're calling Android 12L now, or 0.1 or whatever, and guess what problem came back? The please wipe the top of the screen for the Face Unlock for the 4XL. So not only are we not fixing problems, we're making the same mistakes over and over and over again. That was a mistake that was in the beta last year that carried over. So the confidence level of them to really get a hold on this and get a handle on it and release a consistent experience, the confidence level to me is non-existent. And that's why I just got to say, with all the other experiences out there, this one's not for me. And the thing is that the one thing that struck me was somebody put out something that said, well, there was a family of 4. They don't notice any problems at all. Their experiences have been great. And if this is your only device, the only device you use, the only device you compare it to, you probably won't notice a whole heck of a lot. Yeah, the animations are slow. I don't know why they need to be 2-second animations to open up a phone and close a phone. I don't quite understand that. You could turn them off. But you'll relatively be okay with the experience. It's only when you go to other experiences that you say, hey, wait a minute. This could be a heck of a lot smoother. They do this like this. This is nice. And then when you use their old hardware and you realize that it runs better, that the Pixel Android experience is better on a 4XL than it is on a 6, it boggles the mind. I don't understand it. So you want to blame it on Tensor, you want to blame it on all the rest of it. I'm telling you, you're 3 months in, 4 months in really, of owning this phone now, and they still don't have a handle on the experience, and it's a shame because some of the stuff is really cool. That new live calling, whatever it is, being able to text back and forth with people as you're screening calls and all the rest of it is really cool. The feature drop was excellent on it. Like I said, I like the battery widget. I think that's something useful. Some people are reporting better fingerprint experience. I hope so. But it's just odd that so many front-end things, just day-to-day, daily using the device, catch you off guard. And you're like, that's just doesn't sit quite right. And it's almost an intangible. It's tough to tell. You're like, just something's off about this phone. And it really is that it feels like an incomplete experience. And lots of people are out there, love it, and they've had no problems whatsoever. And if you're someone who has no problems, or you don't compare it to other devices, or you don't really care and it's working fine for you, great. Because it is a fantastic deal. $600 for one of the best best build qualities out there right now. And that's at even the flagship level, certainly at the mid-tier level. A great support experience, you'd hope, with Google. Latest Android. There's a lot to like here, if they can get it right. But it is a little goofy, and I know they could get it right because the 4XL is running great. But let me know down below what your experience with the Pixel 6 has been on this update. And if you are one of those people that had a Wi-Fi problem and it wasn't solved, did the problem change at all? But let me know. If you made it this far, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff, LongIslandWatch.com. Link in the description. Until next time, have that Steve-alicious day. Pusheen doesn't get a day off. Somebody asked if Pusheen gets a day off. I don't get vacation time or paid time off. What do you think this is? Pusheen's here. Multiple Pusheens.